Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the bold and unconventional design choice of painting your entire ceiling black, which is what I did in this basement studio-esque area a little while back. And I wanted to talk about some of the reasons why I did it, why you might want to do it, and maybe some reasons that you should maybe hold off on it. It might sound like a recipe for disaster to some people, but trust me, it can be a surprisingly stylish and dramatic transformation, and I'm super happy with what I've done here. So let's get into some of the upsides of a black ceiling. Today's sponsor is us. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. One of our standout features is our ability to create any color from all major paint brands. And the best part, we deliver across the US and Canada. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. While it's not the most common choice for a lot of people, painting your ceiling black or a very dark color in general can offer some unique benefits. First of all, it creates a very dramatic atmosphere. I mean, if you see it, it is quite the impact that it has. A black ceiling can add a touch of mystery, some moodiness, or even elegance to any room, making it feel more intimate and a bit cave-like. That's how I describe it a lot of times. I find it adds a level of sophistication. It's essentially the polar opposite of a white ceiling, which is what most people do, and that shows confidence to me. It shows that you're willing to just completely go against the grain, and I think there's something to that. And also, if you're going with an ultra flat finish, black ceilings can do a good job at hiding imperfections in the ceiling itself. So if there's any scuffs or anything like that, it's absorbing light rather than reflecting it back down, which means that dark color can help camouflage some of those flaws. And of course, black ceilings to me, they really add a contemporary touch to a space. Because dark ceilings or dark pink colors in general absorb more light, it's going to draw your eye up towards that ceiling, which I think is a nice little visual trick. It's going to make your ceiling appear like it's receding upwards into itself, which is going to make a room feel taller. However, dark ceilings can also have some downsides. Although your room might feel a bit taller, it's going to be reflecting less light back into the space, which could make it feel a bit more congested. Your ceiling is essentially your fifth wall in your room, and usually when there's an overhead light affixed to it, it's going to be able to reflect that light off your ceiling into the space, making it feel more open and airy. And when your ceiling is black, you're really not reflecting much light back at all. So even though dark colors typically can expand a space, when it's just the ceiling, it can sometimes do the opposite. The other thing is black ceilings could be challenging to maintain. Even though they can hide imperfections in the ceiling itself pretty well, if there's anything like dirt or dust that is prone to be in that area, you'll definitely notice it more on a black ceiling. I know from experience. And I think the biggest concern that people will have with a black ceiling is it might not suit all design styles. A black ceiling might be awesome in certain cases, but in a lot of cases, it might just stand out for all the wrong reasons. Now, some interior design styles that I think complement a black ceiling would be something like an industrial look, which is essentially what I was going for here. Instead of spending all that money drywalling my ceiling in the basement, I just kept it all exposed, sprayed it all black, and I think it really enhanced that industrial vibe I was going for. So that is an easy one. It works perfectly in areas that have exposed brick and metal accents, raw finishes, piping, all that stuff. I think black ceilings are perfect for those cases. Also, a more contemporary design style, modern sometimes, a black ceiling can add a touch of sophistication to those looks if you have a more gothic design style. Goths, black, they kind of go hand in hand. So you can really embrace that dark and dramatic feel with a black ceiling paired with deep colors, some ornate detailings, and of course some gothic inspired decor. Vampire chic, if you will. If you're into Harry Potter,
You've made a mistake. I mean, I can't be a wizard.
dark academia, I mean, it's in the name, dark. Even if you're not going with a deadpan black ceiling, a much darker color would absolutely work with a more Harry Potter-esque design. And then finally, eclectic. A black ceiling can be a focal point in an eclectic room, adding a touch of unexpected drama. If you like to curate and collect really unique items, having a black ceiling could be a wonderful way to just draw your eye. And eclectic design is oftentimes very, very personal, so you might want to just express yourself by going against the grain and painting your ceiling black. If you decide to go for a black ceiling, ceiling, I think it's important to choose the right shade. Sometimes you want to go for that deep jet black that is in a matte finish to create a really dramatic effect, but other times you might want to go with something slightly lighter, like maybe a charcoal or even a dark slate gray. That'll give you a little more light reflectance, and you can even go with a glossier finish like an eggshell or even a satin if you really want to have some reflective nature, which could be unique, but on a ceiling, I do tend to go for those flatter finishes, typically. Painting your entire ceiling black is a bold design choice that can add a dramatic and unique touch to your home. However, it's essential to weigh the pros and cons and consider if it's the right choice for your space and style. I used it in my basement. I think it looks wonderful. Probably wouldn't go for it in the main parts of my home upstairs, unless if we're talking about a powder room, which is more sectioned off. But if you have a space that demands that kind of dark moodiness, maybe you have a room in your home that you have movie nights in and you really want to immerse yourself in that space, I think a black ceiling is worth a consideration. Would you do it? Let me know down below.